Good evening. Welcome back to Key West. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. Hope you're having a great 4th of July weekend. We're out keeping you safe and keeping you ahead of Elsa, now a tropical storm. But I got to show you this because this is typical of the day or 2 days before we have a tropical storm or hurricane. Beautiful weather and just gorgeous, just stunning sunsets. This is the sunset in Key West. It went down about 30 minutes ago, so we still have some twilight, some of the orange glow on the horizon, just a few little stratus clouds. And that's basically what we had today and tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of sunshine. You have all that compensating substance or sinking air ahead of the storm. So Elsa is a tropical storm. The big question, though, is what happens after it goes through Cuba? Does it weaken it? How much time does it spend over Cuba? And what does it end up being like when it gets on this side of Cuba out here in the Florida Straits? Let's go back to Carl Parker. Carl, that really is the question. We know we're going to have impacts here in the Keys and across the Sunshine State eventually, the Carolinas and Georgia. And remember, it doesn't take a lot of wind to knock down trees. But the bottom line is, what's left of Elsa? I mean, you look at the European and it's just kind of poo-pooing it. The GFS is a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and it's really tricky, Mike, because you've got such different scenarios where, if the storm were to track a little bit more north, and it would be going over mountains that are 6,000 to 7,000 feet tall in southeast Cuba, and then maybe spending a lot more time over land. Whereas if it were a little more south, you've got it not only over the ocean, but over the ocean with very high ocean heat content. The sea surface temperature is actually in the upper 80s to 90 degrees just south of Cuba.
Yeah, our water temperature here is about 84, 85. So, yes, there's plenty of energy in that water. But, again, it's all about the terrain, the friction, which tears apart at these tropical systems. So what we can hope for is the friction weakens the system. It gets back into the Gulf of Mexico, and then it won't have much time to intensify. Certainly, you would agree, Carl, that the probability of this rejuvenating to back to hurricane status is on the low end of the probability chart.
Yeah, well, I hope so, Mike. The tropics have really surprised me in recent years. I'll say that. If the storm were to stay south of Cuba the entire time and then just have a short pass over that narrow stretch of island, I would say it is possible that it gets stronger once again as it comes up towards Florida. So we've got a lot to watch, that's for sure. Mike, I got to say, that's a beautiful sunset. I've spent some time in Key West. I could not get over the fact that every time we would go out to Mallory Square in the evening, the sunset was great every single night. Different and great every single night. It's pretty amazing how consistent it is down there.
Yeah, Mallory Square is great. Now, in the winter, when you go to Mallory Square, it sets to the left of the island that sits off the coast there. But this time of the year, it sets over the island. Plus, compared to last year with COVID, Mallory Square is just absolutely packed this year. Everybody try and get their photo op. So when you're over here on the south side, near the southernmost point of the country, you get a clear shot, and you don't have all the people around. So, yeah, the sunsets here are worth the price of admission. But again, Monday night and Tuesday in Florida, the Keys, we have a tropical storm watch, middle and lower Keys, and no doubt they're going to be extending those watches into the peninsula probably sometime tomorrow once we get a better idea of the intensity and the exact track. Right now, the cone does include all of the Keys, but they do not have the upper Keys in a watch at this point.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. And let's take a look at the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. So we're talking about a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm now moving